Now, a month ago, we posted the crazy Barbarian build, which farms you quick legendaries with the Firestorm Sprint. Now, this ended up being probably my favorite build in the game. However, I got a ton better because in one of the feature updates, they had a new off-head called the Sundered Legacy. The Wrath of the Berserker now causes enemies to burn there nearby. Well, in the live stream that we just completed, we actually finally pulled the Sundered Legacy. You can see right here, I'll show you, we just finally got it, and we tested it out for about an hour on the live stream. Now, we did a pretty good job at testing this out. We tested different gyms, one-star gyms, unlocking the awakenings. We tried different outfit pieces, etc. But I got to show you some of the clips of how ridiculous this is before we go into the details of the build. All right, so we just got the item that I've been waiting for called the Sundered Legacy. Wrath of the Berserker now causes nearby enemies to burn. I've been waiting for this one for a while, so I'm actually pretty excited to go extract this and then re-inherit it back and give it a try now. All right, Wrath of the Berserker, critical chance. You've done a good job, soldier. It's time for you to finally go to sleep. We've got your replacement now. Now, I have heard that the cooldown difference on this is absolutely disgusting, where if you look at it before, the cooldown was longer. Now it's 12 seconds. Is that what it says? Cooldown is now 12 seconds. Okay, so with the bonuses I have, oh, look at that. You get a little burning aura around it that matches my, aha, Firestorm procs are going already. Okay, this is going to be interesting because the cooldown on it comes up right as it's basically up again. It looks like it's matching Sprint, where I kind of have them both up. There's going to be a lot of fire. Okay, so I'm trying to extend the beneficial duration as long as I can. I got Blessed Pebble in there. I've got Vithu's 2-piece. So if we have this here, Wrath of the Berserker cooldown gets decreased by 10% if we put it in the offhand. And the sprint cooldown's already decreased right now. We've already got all the Reforged bonuses for duration of beneficial effects, basically across the board as well. Let's go test this in the frozen tundra, since it'll be a song of ice and fire. And of course, when I arrive, it automatically tries to get me to navigate to a hidden lair. Stop it! All right, here we go, our first use of it. What does the burn look like? This is the full build now. Okay, so let's test just the burn. Just the burn, we got the sprints off. We have just the Wrath of the Berserker burn. How much damage are we actually talking off this guy, all right? 18,000, like 24,000. So, okay, 1795 is basically the crit. That's actually like, that's probably more than I thought it was going to be honest. I'm just a big fan of this build. I'm gonna be honest, I'm just a big fanboy of this build right now. Now, the skills for this are obvious. You can use either basic attack, it doesn't really matter at all. What you will have is a Whirlwind, a Sprint, a Wrath of the Berserker, and Furious Charge. However, the Furious Charge can be changed out for basically any of these ones you really want to. I like Furious Charge just because it makes it a little bit quicker for me. And then you're going to have to get the Inherits. Now, there's two different versions of the Inherits. You can either increase the sprint time, or if you want more damage, you can leave a Tornado behind you. I'm going to go with the Tornado variant. This was the original build that we basically did a month ago, but we're going to add a couple small variants onto it. Now we're going to add we also have the Sprint, which leaves the Flame. This is kind of one of the core pieces of the build. But then we have the Whirlwind, which draws from the power of the wind to deal increased damage, but no longer reduces your movement speed. This allows you, while you have Sprint, you can still move ridiculously with your Whirlwind up. You're going to pair that with the Whirlwind throws out tornadoes. This is basically like the helmet. So you have two ways of tornadoes coming out. Well, the thing is, when there's fire and a tornado, it creates a firestorm, guaranteeing you that orange critical. Now, if you look at the pants, where you Sprint also increases movement speed of all nearby allies. This could be changed for a different type of Furious Charge. It could be changed for a lot of things. I only have this because I am trying to get the 10% cooldown reduction from Sprint, and there's not many pants which, when awakened, will give you that. If you actually look at the pants, I'm using a Blessed Pebble. The Blessed Pebble gives us increased beneficial duration, which is going to increase both of our Wrath of Berserker and Sprint. The goal is to have these up long enough that they're basically always continually up, which is where you can do the 33% increase helmet duration instead for your Sprint to make it a little bit easier, but you will lose out on some damage. So if you're over damaging things, you could always go with that variant as well. And then, of course, the offhand, the main addition here is going to be Wrath of Berserker now causes enemies to burn, so we get another method of that burning. Now, during the live stream, I got very tilted because I actually leveled a trick shot gem all the way to 10 because I wanted to test it for the purposes of the video we were recording. Unfortunately, I cannot add an awakening. This is actually something crazy I want to show you guys in this video. If you have a reserve piece of gear, you actually cannot awaken it. So I actually went out and purchased one of these Dawning Echoes, and class change equipment cannot be awakened. So be careful if you're wearing reservist piece of gears. You can't awaken them until you get an upgrade that's non-reservist. But the reason I wanted to awaken this one is it would give us Wrath of the Berserker cooldown decreased by 10% to help us keep that 100% uptime. And the reason we're actually using the Trick Shot gem in particular is because the Trick Shot gem is going to reduce channeled scales by 24%. This is going to allow our Whirlwind effectively to be used slower, but it's still being recovered at the same rate, keeping our Whirlwind up the majority of the time. Now, the set items have multiple different varieties you could actually put on. A 4-piece Grace, 2-piece Vithus has been the one that I believe is probably the best, primarily because the 4-piece Grace here has a good amount of chunk of damage. This 6,700, etc. can crit, can do large amounts of damage. Individualize hitting enemies multiple times is something that's going to happen over and over again because we're using Whirlwind, we're using the Sprint Fire, Tornado, etc. There's tons of instances of damage being applied, so the Grace is going to work well. Also, the continual channel and persistent ground damage, all of this works for basically all of the abilities we are using in this build, so this is an obvious one. The 2-piece Vithu is also obvious because of the high duration of beneficial effects. This is something we are hyper focusing on because we need this. The whole point of this is to have this sprint as well as this AoE fire basically continually be up. And why the beneficial effect doesn't do anything for the Whirlwind, for instance, that's where the Trick Shot gem comes in. Now, this is a pretty common build. I mean, I think everyone's going to end up using this build because, to be honest, it is not only obvious, but it seems to be like neck and shoulders above basically any other farming build for the Barbarian right now. Whirlwind without slowing down is all what we want. It's the closest you're going to get to the PC experience of enough AoE damage to basically just blow through mobs with literally not even basic attacking. It's a pretty top tier build at the moment. Consider liking the video, subscribing to the video, or checking out any of my other videos if you would like to, popping up around here somewhere. And I'll see you guys on the next one.